Hey YouTube, I'm back again with another 300 Blackout reloading video that I'm going to do. First, I just want to say I'm not a professional. I do not do this for a living. I do this because I enjoy it, and I hope that the videos that I do, somebody somewhere out there gets small little pieces of information or tidbit that will help them out. With that being said, please always do your research. Be careful about what you're doing when you're reloading, and just pay attention, safety first, and that's all I can pretty much offer. So this video is not going to be high quality. I'm going to screw up. I'm sure there's going to be things that go wrong, but for the most part, I hope you guys enjoy it. So here's what we got today. I was super excited to get in the mail. Let's see if you guys can see that. Priority mail from Blackout bullets. What does that mean? Well, let me tell you. So in the 300 Blackout world and community, we've got supersonic bullets and we have subsonic bullets. Subsonic bullets, really fun to shoot with a suppressor. You don't need any ears. It's nice and quiet. It's fun. But the downside is when you shoot things, they don't really blow up. For instance, I did another video, which you can find on my channel, of a 220 grain bullet, spear point, nothing special, goes into targets, fun for shooting steel. However, this time around, I'm going to show you guys, this is it. You ready? Okay. Read that carefully. From Blackout bullets, this is an expanding hollow point subsonic bullet, meaning that these little guys are designed to expand when they hit targets at subsonic ranges. Check this out. Look at that hollow point. That is beautiful. And it's hard to see. Maybe you can see it down on the edges. There are lines where these have been machined out so that when these hit, they'll flower open like that. Solid base. Just for comparison, let's see. I've not done this. Just started this, just opened them. So they're about the same size. Here, let's do this. That's the old Kentucky windage. Let's do it like this. So the other 220 grain spear point, non-expanding, 1.357 inches base to tip. The new Blackout bullet, expanding, subsonic expanding, 1.303. Try some other ones here. 1.316, 1.303. We'll try just a few more here. 1.303. 1.303. So these things are pretty accurate. I mean, I didn't do a whole bunch of them. Just did what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, but still, that was pretty good. As far as where the bullet seats, 3.08. 3.08. Make sure I show you guys what I'm doing. 3.08 right here, right where the bullet sits. .08. So those are all really good there. Oop, forgot one. Hang on. I think I forgot this one. 3.08. I started doing it again. Hang on, that was 0.308. In another video I did, I got all screwed up with my decimal point, so I apologize. I'll try to pay more attention. 0.308. Okay, so let's get talking about these guys. I had not seen bullets like this, so I contacted the owner of Blackout Bullets. His name is Scott. Yep, Scott. And I asked Scott if he would be willing to send me, so thank you, Scott, very much. These have been donated. I'm still going to give them a really fair review. Going to count out the bullets. I'm going to measure them. I'm going to check everything out just like I do in all my other videos. But he was kind enough to send these and let me do this testing. So I don't plan on doing anything crazy. I don't have ballistic gel. Like I said, I'm just like the backyard guy. Did a couple videos, kind of enjoyed them, so I thought I'd do a couple more. I plan on shooting fun stuff tomorrow. I'm going to check out the accuracy of it, and I'm going to load these down. I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick with 2.1 overall case length, and I'm going to go somewhere between 8.1 and 8.5 grains of powder. If at the range day tomorrow that doesn't suffice, I'll try again. But with my 300 Blackout, I have had very, very good success with 8.1 to 8.5 grains of H110. So this is the powder that I like to use. For my supersonic stuff, I do like to use accurate 1680, but I'm going to be using H110. And my good old CCI number 400 primers. And I am using Lake City brass that has been cut to size and good to go. I like Lake City brass. I think it works real good. So I load everything on my Dillon 650. One of the best investments I ever made. You guys know that though already if you shoot a lot. Okay, in the book, this is the Hornady book. I usually use Hornady bullets when I can. However, they don't make anything like this. So you have 208 grains and you have 225 grains. Basically what I did, if you guys can see the data sheet there, see if that focuses. I hope that focuses for you. Where it says H110, it says that a 225 grain bullet at 8.8 grains, I should have a velocity of about 1100 feet per second. I'm going to try and keep all my velocities down to the 1000 to 1050 range. I'm usually pretty successful at doing that. And like I said, I have found that for my gun and seating them at 2.1 overall length, it feeds good, and I seem to get right there, like between 1025 to 1050. I don't like to go much over that. I live in Arizona, so I don't know where you guys live or who's watching this. You might have different speeds because of your atmospheric conditions, but for me, that's what works real good. So let me get my press set up here, and I'll run a couple rounds, and I'll be right back. Thanks. Okay, I'm back now. Kind of got the press set up a little bit. If you don't own one of these, this is where you put all your primers and you hit the button, and it orientates them for you and sends them down into the primer tube. Awesome. Dillon made a good product there. Off camera, what I did is I hand counted out all the bullets, so I got 100 inside my tray right here, and I have another 100 in a bag, and then a 50. So he was right on. I asked for 250. He sent me 250. So Scott, good job there. The other thing I did, and this is by no means any kind of scientific. This is actually kind of hard to do, but you guys will get the point. So you see the tips of these? Get some 4 of them here. See the tips, the cones, the nose, whatever you want to call it? What I did is I took my calipers and I measured from the tip to the tip to see how much tip variation there was. Like I said, this is not scientific. I do not have huge, crazy instruments. I only have these, and I'm not a professional, but when doing so, they measure out to be 1.195. I go right to the edge there. I did that to 10 of these, and they went from 0.190 to 0.195, and I had one that was 0.185. Probably the way I held the calipers. What I'm getting at is the quality of these so far. The bases have been spot on, the tips are spot on, roughly where the ogive is, ogive, 0.30, 0.30, 0.298. Anyway, by doing that, like I said, not scientific, but I'm telling you right now, inspecting these, checking these out, quality, quality, quality. Now, I'm going to try one more time. I tried with my light earlier. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I think that right there, do you see these lines? I'm pretty sure that this has a big part to do with how these suckers expand. The other thing is check out the nose of these. Now watch this. Watch how deep this is. .183. Now, I don't know if this is getting all the way in there. Feels like it's getting all the way down in there. But, you know what? Stand by. I was just going to check with this. A lot deeper than I thought. 0.295. See what I'm doing here? I'm marking right here on my thing with my thumb. That is how deep that hollow point cavity is. And then all I'm doing is marking right here. Again, 0.30. Try one more. Don't want to bore you guys too much. I just want to show you. .285. What I believe is consistency equals quality, and this seems to be very, very consistent. So I just thought of that real quick. So, okay, now that these are all loaded up, hey, here's another trick for you guys. Most people know about this, but on your primer, you get yourself a 45 shell. Put it on top of this and it helps weigh it down. This is your primer tube. Goes in, sits on top of your primers. Does not sit in this, sits on your machine. I always check my buzzers and everything, make sure my batteries are good. What I do off camera is I make sure that my press is set up, everything's oiled and everything's good, got powder in it, the whole 9 yards, just so I don't waste a lot of camera time. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna actually set up the press completely, index it, get all the primers ready. I'm gonna cut the camera out so you don't have to watch that, and then I'll come back. We'll do a very short little reloading thing just so people can see, I can see how they're seating. We'll measure all that, and that way you don't get stuck watching like a massive long video of me just reloading. You all know how to do that if you're watching this video. So stand by and I will be back shortly. Okay, I got the press all set up. Bullets are ready to go. Currently I'm loading 8.1 grains of H110 at an overall depth of 2.10. Here's what they look like when they're all loaded. Give a couple more rounds here, and I won't do a lot. I'll just do a little in case there's people out there that's new to this. while I'm reloading, I'm always checking cases, although I do that before, but I always do it also during the reloading process. Make sure that as I'm removing the primers and stuff, that my cases aren't getting dented. I touch and feel every bullet. I love the automatic machines out there, not the automated ones, but I really like to be able to touch all the bullets, make sure everything's good. Always wear safety goggles or glasses. Heaven forbid you don't want one of these things to blow up, primer blow up, take out your eye or something like that. So like I said earlier in the beginning, just some dude does this in the garage, but be safe. The other thing I'll say is I reload. I'll show you my die setup here, but the way that I reload is I use Forester dies with a micrometer seating die. I really like that. It's definitely not necessary for target practice and stuff. I also load for 6.5 Creedmoor, and that's where it becomes a lot more important when you're trying to do long range shooting, I think. But I still use the higher quality stuff. Okay, now I did load some of these off camera, just a few, but basically I got 25 of them, so that's what I'm going to do at 8.1 grains. I think I'm going to do 25 at 8.3 grains, and then I will probably do 25 at 8.5 grains, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick with the 8.5 grains for the remainder of them, just because I've had really good luck with that in the past. Check my overall here. This is not the best way to do this if you're new to reloading. Base to tip is not the preferred way. My overall length is 2.105.5. Really what you want to do is load from the ogive to the base, and that measurement will be different than what's spec'd out in the book. It's based per rifle. Like I said, I do that for competition stuff, but for this stuff, for me, it's close enough. And I have a Forester depriming die. Then I've got my powder check, and on the back of my powder knob, I bought one of those nifty little, here, I'll show you guys. Awesome little things to have, right here. These little wheels. That's to adjust powder up and down. And then I have an empty spot, which I visually look down into the case to see how much powder I'm putting in. And then I have my Forester micrometer competition seating die. What I really like about these dies is as the bullet goes into the brass here, like this, okay, what that specific die does is it holds the bullet in perfect alignment as the brass is being pushed up into it. So you have really good alignment. And then on the back side, I use, for my crimp, I do use a crimp. Some guys don't, some guys do. I use the Lee factory crimp die, and I do a very, very light crimp, but I do use one. I have friends of mine that they load with a very heavy crimp. I do not like a very heavy crimp, and I know guys that load with no crimp. I don't have an opinion on that. For me, I've been lucky. No crimp or light crimp has always shot well for me, so I don't fix what's not broke. That's how I load my stuff. And then it goes out the last stage, it goes out the chute and into my reloading thing. So I'm going to check my powder now, reset the scale up for 8.3 grains, load another 25 rounds, and keep on going. This will be the last reloading on the press video that you guys see. That way I don't bore the heck out of you, like I said earlier. And then we'll start getting to some of the funner stuff. I'll load some mags, we'll look at that. we'll go out to the range and we'll put some targets out there, and we'll see how good these things group and how good these things shoot and what they can blow up. So I'm looking forward to that. So without any further ado, I'll see you guys in a little while after I do all the hard work off camera. See ya. Okay, well, it is range day. Today we are testing Blackout bullets. They're 220 grain expanding subsonic ammunition. So thank you again, Scott, for allowing us this opportunity. He did donate the 250 rounds for me for this review. So guys, please go check out his website. I will make sure that I put a link down in the description below. And let me show you what we got going on today. So my organizational skills are awesome, but here's what we got. We got 8.1 grains seated at 2.10 overall length with H110. So 8.1 grains at H110 seated at 2.10 overall length, 220 grain hollow point Blackout bullets. And make sure, guys, I went to his website. Make sure that what you look at on his website, these are the expanding subsonic version, okay? He also has some other bullets on there, but these ones are the ones that are designed to expand at subsonic velocity. So just make sure that when you're on his website, you are looking at it correctly. Second set of bullets, or second set of batch of ammunition I did was 8.3 grains of H110, again seated at the 2.10 overall length. If you're wondering why I didn't play around too much with the length of the bullet, it's because I have shot 220 grain bullets out of my AR-15 numerous amounts of times, and I have found for my weapon 2.10 overall length works really well. Now these bullets might be different, we'll find out today, but I went with what was best. Measuring the other bullets versus this, they're near identical in length, so I figured what the heck, it'd probably give me a good starting point. And then lastly, we have 8.5 grains, which I loaded a lot of these. 8.5 grains at H110, again seated at 2.10 overall length. I believe that this is going to be the sweet spot. Just doing as much reloading as I've done, I think that this is going to be the best velocity, the best expansion. So I went ahead and loaded a lot of these. But something else I did, and this is totally new, I set these bullets at 2.1. There's only 4 of them, so we're going to see how they work. But what I did is, and this is a subsonic review, just so everyone understands, subsonic, a bullet that's designed to expand subsonically. This is probably going to go supersonic. I load this real close to the maximum. This is 10 grains of H110 seated at 2.10 overall length. So I just wanted to see how they would perform going at that velocity. I did bring the chronograph out, so I'm not sure if I'm going to show you guys that long, boring chronograph test. I'll probably just tell you the data, but let me get my stuff all set up and we'll get shooting here. For today, our test weapon is going to be a 300 AAC Blackout. It sits on a Daniel Defense registered SBR lower with a Knights Armament 9-inch upper, 762 SDN6 can, Atlas bipod. I got a Surefire flashlight over here, and I use a US Optics 1:4 illuminated optic, and I have backup Yankee Hill sights on this thing. So I like this weapon. It works really, really good for me. I've had great success with it. It's a 1-in-7 twist. For the barrel, I always use my Cadwell bullet catcher. Since this is a reloading video, I do save my brass. I find this helps out. And today I brought 2 different magazines. I brought a Generation 3 PMag, and just for fun, I brought the old steel magazines. I got a lot of questions on my last video that I did about how they fit in other magazines, so we're gonna check that out today. Last but not least, guys, when you're using suppressors, please make sure you have something to tighten them down with or check them. This comes from Silencer Shop. I use it basically you could steal your wife or girlfriend's oven mitt too, that works. But this came with it, works good. Be careful when you're messing with that, use gloves. Again, safety first, guys. Like I said, I've said this numerous times in this video, I am not a professional. I'm just a guy that does this in my garage, and I hope that the videos that I put out help somebody somewhere. And I've said it before, I may not get everything right, might not go perfect. There's a lot of people on YouTube, man, that I've learned to criticize the heck out of you. I'm doing this to help those people that are looking for a little bit of edge, but I'm not a professional, so if you have further questions, be sure to consult your local professional, talk to a gunsmith, talk to a bullet manufacturer. You know, those guys know what they're doing. They are educated to help answer in-depth questions and stuff like that. For today, I hope you enjoy the video. I'm gonna go set the range up here. Scott, thanks again. Blackout Bullets. I'll put that description, like I said, in the link. And next thing you're gonna see, we're gonna get shooting. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, I did the chronograph. Honestly, I loaded them a little bit lighter than I should have. So I found that the 8.1 grains was pushing around 830 feet per second. The 8.3 grains was pushing somewhere around 850 to 875, and then the 8.5 grains was pushing around 930 or so, right around there. And then my specialty ones, which was the 10 grains of H110, was pushing 1,120 feet per second. So I'm probably going to go back to the shop and try and reload up somewhere around the 9.8 grain weight of H110 at the 2.10 overall length, and I think that'll get me closer to my 1,000 to 1,050 desired. But for today, we're going to be shooting, most of what we'll be shooting will be that 8.5 grain, because that's what I loaded a lot of. I thought that was going to be pretty consistent, and it's going to be pushing into that area where we're at the 930 to 950 range. So here's the target. Up here, don't worry about this, and don't worry about this. This is what I use to sight in. So these two are we're not looking at right now. We're gonna do 8.1 grains of H110 right here, 8.3 grains of H110 right here, and 8.5 grains of H110 right here. That's gonna give us a spread to see how this goes. So bear with me, I gotta run 100 yards that way to the gun, and then you guys keep an eye on this. I'll try to fast forward it in a little while so that you don't have to wait for that lag time while I get my gun ready. But keep an eye on this. We're gonna do 5 shots of each. So 5 shots of 8.1 grains, 5 shots of 8.3 grains, and 5 shots of 8.5 grains, and we're gonna see where it comes out at. So enjoy, be right back. Okay, so there you go. I have to admit, guys, I pulled this down here. I felt it down there. I use a single stage SD Geisley SD 3G 3-gun trigger, so there's no creep in it. It's meant for real fast fire. On my precision rifles, I like a double stage trigger, so this I felt pretty good on. When I sighted in 8.5, I sighted in with 8.5, so here's a 8.5, 8.5. This group is bigger. And then this is the 8.1, which my gun does not like the lower grain weights of any bullet that I shoot. So you can tell how wide open it is. that's not too bad of a grouping for 100 yards out of a 9-inch barrel. And that's not horrible, although I could have brought that in. This is probably a more consistent group. I'm sorry it wasn't on camera. Figures, right? So now that you guys get an idea how she groups, I wish I had more of the 10 grains. I would like to see how that faster velocity groups. But for today, that's what we got. Now I'm gonna go set up some targets. We're gonna get into some much closer ranges, and we're gonna have some fun. You're gonna see what hollow points do. This was the scientific side of it, or semi-scientific, I guess you would want to say. Now we're gonna get into the fun stuff. What can we blow up, and what does it look like when it hits objects with water, fruit, stuff like that. So bear with me. I'm gonna shut the camera off, go set everything up. We'll start the camera back up and have some fun. Okay guys, so for the first test, this is what I'm going to do. I have 5 rounds of regular 220 grain Subsonic loaded at the same grain weight, 8.5 grains, which I'm going to shoot on the left hand side. So the left cantaloupe, left water bottle, left, I don't know what that is, soda pop of some kind, and then left shaving cream. On the right hand side, we will shoot with the expanding Blackout bullets, hollow point Subsonic rounds. So right cantaloupe, right simply orange, right whatever that is, soda, and then the right shaving cream. That way you kind of get a baseline of side by side. Okay, well, here is the regular 220 grain. That's the exit wound. Here is Blackout bullet. But check out that exit wound. That is phenomenal. Absolutely worthwhile shooting 300 Blackout. Now, I apologize for over here when I hit the shaving cream can. When I hit that guy, it also hit the shaving cream can. Go figure, I couldn't do that if I tried. Here's the water bottle. There's the Blackout entry hole here. See it? Look at this exit hole. She just blew the whole thing apart. I just want to mention too, guys, I'm shooting 8.5 grains. I'm gonna shoot at the end the 10 grains because I got 3 more rounds of those. Look at a little hole. It's split. This is the, nope, it just put a hole in it. This guy blew the back out. Here's the shaving cream can with the regular 220 grain, 1 hole in, 1 hole out. And that was the shaving cream can for the other one. I have no idea where the can went. The top is over here. Maybe on the video you guys can see it. They put shaving cream all the way over here.
Here's the can. Look at this. Holy mackerel. I'm gonna show you guys. That went through the soda first. Look at how far away we are. Right there. All the way over here. We'll just pace it off. Look at this can. Blew the backside of this can completely out. And if we pace it off, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20 yards. It blew it 20 yards. Pretty impressive. Good stuff. All right. Okay, guys. I loaded up 25 rounds in a PMag. It's close as a mag dump as I can get. I got some other ammunition, but I didn't want to fill the whole thing up because I still want to do some additional testing. So I don't want to waste all the ammo on just a mag dump. But put 25 rounds in here. We're going to shoot at that pile of, oops, sorry, I'm in the way. We're going to shoot that pile of stuff down there. It's not a demonstration of what happens to targets, anything. I'm just going to shoot it. I'm more interested in how well does it do a mag dump. So here we go. I'm not kidding. If you guys don't have brass catchers, you may look a little funny at the range, but if you're a reloader, it's the only way to go. Okay, do safety awe. Here we go. Clear. And then I pulled one of the 10 grainers. So the 10 grainers are going to be better for their expansion. Still subsonic. And we're going to shoot that at the watermelon. We're going to see what kind of true damage these Blackout bullets do, because up to this point it's been fun. They've been working really good, far better than any other Blackout 220 grain subsonic bullet that I know of on the market. But I have not done them justice. So at the velocities at which they're really designed to work at. Now they are designed to work anywhere from like 850 up to, you know, supersonic speeds, but you guys haven't had a taste yet of the faster 1,120 feet per second on a soft target. So that's what we're about ready to do. Give me a second so I can go load up my magazine, and then we'll shoot that watermelon and we'll go look at what kind of damage it does. So I'm pretty optimistic that this will work pretty good. So here we go. Now that is what you can truly expect out of Blackout bullets. Did you see that? So when loaded to the proper grain weight, so I'm suggesting between 9.8 and 10 grains, depending on your elevation, altitude, wherever you're at. Okay, for Arizona, I'm putting 10 grains in there. They're going 1,120 feet per second. That still keeps them subsonic out here. For some reason, they're not going above that. So it's not going supersonic yet. So I will probably back mine down to 9.8 grains just to be safe, to keep it under that subsonic round. But look at that, look at the difference. Did you see how well that just annihilated that? Amazing. And then look at these. This is with the 8.5 grains. They didn't have a chance. You go get a 220 grain regular point bullet, and all it's gonna do is put a hole in it, maybe split the back end just a tiny bit. It is not gonna do that. So for us 300 Blackout users out there, we finally got a product that we can actually go and shoot and destroy some stuff subsonically. So I'm very, very excited. I'm very happy. I'm gonna go load up the rest of the soda cans I have, and we're gonna blow up some more stuff, and then I'm gonna call it a day, go back to the shop, do some measurements on the target, see what kind of groups I had, and then I'm gonna actually take the other rounds that I have that Scott sent me. I'm gonna develop a more refined, tuned load for myself. And like I said, I believe that's gonna be between 9.8 grains of H110 and 10 grains of H110. I might even adjust the seat depth a little bit. We'll see how I do it. If I end up doing that, I'll let you guys know for sure. But as of right now, I'm super happy with 10 grains of H110 seated at 2.10 overall length. Just working out fantastic. So proof's in the pudding right there. I gotta show you this up close. Look at the inside of this watermelon. It shredded it. Look at that. Look at it. Absolutely turned it all to like spaghetti noodle. That is some major terminal ballistic damage inside there. Okay, I got a treat for you. Regular 220 grain on the left. I have one more of the 10 grain H110 Blackout bullet hollow points, which I'll shoot at the right. You get to see a side-by-side comparison. Here we go. Blackout bullet, 10 grains, regular 220 grain. Look at the difference. No comparison. Absolutely great product. Good job, Scott. Okay, we made it back to the reloading table. We're back from the range. Here are some things that I think were important that I should mention. So I live in Arizona. It is the time of testing. Outside the temperature was 98 degrees. Mind you guys, it is April 22nd, 98 degrees out, good old Phoenix. I was using 8.1 grains of H110, 8.3 grains of H110, 8.5 grains of H110, and 10 grains of H110. I want to go out on record and tell you guys an important thing to remember, which I had forgotten when I was loading, is I have a 9-inch barrel. So if you have a longer barrel, 8.1, 8.3, those might work just fine for you. I have a 9-inch AR-15 barrel, so I needed to increase my powder weight. That's a rookie mistake. I made it. My mistake. I'm sorry. That's why 10 grains works so good. I'm getting velocities in the 1,120 feet per second range with the 10 grains in a 9-inch barrel. Now, I will tell you right now, these bullets are phenomenal when they are going above 1,000 feet per second. Below 1,000 feet per second, they're still better than anything else that you can shoot. They're better than solids, spear points, anything like that. Even like the ballistic nylon tips, the big heavyweight stuff, they are better than that. So I want to go and tell you guys that they are absolutely worth the investment. I love these bullets. I plan on shooting these bullets myself. I have been loading them at 2.10 overall length. I think for me that's a pretty good length. However, I may
play with it going to like, I think Sammy Spec, sorry, I was thinking there, I think Sammy Spec is 2.25. Do not quote me on that, look that up. I want to make sure that I'm telling you guys the right data. I might go out to 2.22, which I have done in the past, and see if that helps bring my groups in. So here's the targets. Now remember, 100 yards, I'm using a 4-power scope, so a 1 to 4 power US optic scope, so it's kind of hard for me sometimes to see these little dots through the scope. So this is by no means like total massive accuracy or anything like that. This is what I use to sight in. Now I want to tell you guys, if the entire group, I use this 8.5 grains of H110 is what I use to sight in. Using this to sight in, I got a 1.5 inch group. I believe I can tighten that up. That right there I think was a flyer. Over here was 8.1 grains of H110. It did 1.8 inch grouping. Okay, pretty big. Over here was 8.3 grains of H110, and that was 1.7 inch group at 100 yards, 9 inch barrel, remember. And then over here, this again was 8.5 grains, which is the same over here, what I used to sight in. I want you guys to look at this. I knew when I shot this, I even think I said it on camera if I remember correctly, I pulled that shot for sure, felt it, I knew I did it the second I squeezed the trigger. So all 5 with the pulled shot is 2.25 inches. If I take that flyer out, the group is 1.1 inch, and I put on there with no flyer. So I do believe I can tighten up my accuracy. I'm not sure if I'm going to get it like half MOA, but I do think I can get this 1 MOA at 100 yards with this bullet. So up here was just something that I played around with at the end. So this one with the little line and this one with the little line right there, I had shot those previously, but these I shot at 100 yards right before I left just to see, and so I think that it was still, on target pretty good. As always, I want to thank Scott from Blackout Bullets. Amazing product. You're doing a good job. I look forward to using your product more. I'm going to try and get a second video up with a lot more shooting with 10 grains of H110 or 9.8. Like I said, I'm debating in myself what to do there. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. So be safe out there. I really hope you guys liked this. If you did, please hit the like button. If you didn't, and you have suggestions for me, feel free to let me know if you want to see something different in the future. But thanks again, Scott. Wonderful product, man. Good job, and see you guys next time. Okay, I came back out to the range. Sun's starting to go down, so I want to try to get this done. I reloaded up some rounds back at the shop. Here's what I did. I tried 9.8 grains at 2.109, and then the rest of these are 10 grains of H110, but I messed with the seating depth this time, the overall length. It goes from 2.109, 2.08, 2.108, 2.128, 2.159, 2.184, and 2.208. I want to see if that makes a difference with my velocities and or my accuracy. So I'm gonna run over there, get the gun all set up, and we'll start shooting at these, see what happens. Thanks. All right, back. Sorry, there's a lot of delays. I was having some trouble with my gun. I got a magazine. I grabbed one of the bad magazines on accident when I ran out the house. Not one of my
good one, so I was having feeding problems, which earlier today, no problems at all, just that magazine I was having problems with. And then I had some traffic drive by me and some people come up to me and a donkey walk by me, so I kind of had to stop a couple times. But other than that, not real sure what to think. My gun doesn't like this one, I'll tell you that. 9.8 grains. It was great on target, off. Looks like my tightest group looks like 2.08, but it's way off to the side. But that does look like my tightest group, maybe 2.18. So one of these maybe. We'll have to see. If I was to reload, I would either do this 2.184 or the 2.08. Looks like it's going to be the key for me there. These suckers were touching. I don't know what happened here. Too dang bad that I couldn't get those all to group well, but that was a disaster. Well, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it.